Good afternoon and welcome to today's webinar for chapter volunteers. Today we will review current society initiatives and we'll discuss the available resources for chapter volunteers. Before we start, I just want to make sure you can easily navigate through today's session. All lines are muted. If you have a question, you have two options. You can simply click the hand icon shown on your navigation toolbar, or you can type a question in the text box. Okay, and we'll be sure to answer your questions at the end of today's session. So questions are encouraged, or comments, and we will be recording this as well and sharing with all chapter volunteers following today's webinar. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to Paula Ryan, SMPS President from Jerseniak Gears and Associates. Paula?
Thank you very much, Mary. Thanks for joining us today. As I've had the opportunity to visit and talk with many chapter boards and chapter leaders across the country, it's very clear to me that your service is making a difference in creating career success for our members. So I want to thank you for what you do for SMPS and for our members. Now I'd like to introduce Mike Gears. As you know, Mike is our new SMPS CEO who joined us in October. And one of the reasons we were drawn to Mike as a candidate is that because Michael knows that SMPS happens at the chapter level. So with that, I'll introduce Michael.
Michael, your phone might be muted. We can't hear you.
I have been muted. I have been talking eloquently. Now I can remember those great things I just said. Thank you, Mary. I'm embarrassed. If you can see, there's a camera. I am blushing. We just had rehearsal, and I was warned. Anyway, needless to say, I'm happy to be working with you and for you with SMPS. Glad to be part of this organization. It's a great organization, having worked with a variety of groups. SMPS has a lot to be proud about, and that includes all of our great volunteers at the chapter level. I wanted to share on this that I've been a volunteer on boards of directors, local level, national levels, all sorts of levels, quote unquote, and so I am empathetic to the effort of trying to manage a job and a family and relationships and volunteer for organizations. So I'm going to, I bring that to the table and working with you and working with our staff to make sure that we're serving you properly and helping and assisting you to be successful at our chapters as well as sort of the North American level, so to speak. So please know I'm a resource. I'm available to you. You can find me through the website, smps.org, email, call, and I look forward to meeting many of you at the regional conferences over the next few weeks. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Michael. Now it's important to recognize the 2015-2016 SMPS Board of Directors. This group, as many of you do, give freely of their time and wisdom to make our society better. Greg Galati with LGA is the President-elect. Barbara Shuck, Wilson & Company, is past President. Chris Rickman with ZFI Engineering is Secretary-Treasurer. Fellows Delegate with Clark Nexon is Tom Towns, and you'll see Dawn Greco's name highlighted there in orange. Dawn is with ICF International, and she is the chapter delegate on the board who works one-on-one with many of the chapters. And last but by no means least is Carla Thompson with NAC Architecture, and she is your at-large delegate. So thank you to the Board of Directors. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Holly Bolton, President of the SMPS Foundation. Holly?
Thanks, Paula. Can everyone hear me? Am I coming in clear?
You sure are.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, great. So I am so excited to say hello to all the chapter volunteers and just tell you a little bit about the SMPS Foundation. I'm serving as president this year along with a board of trustees of 9. The SMPS Foundation is a non-for-profit 501c3 organization, so we are donation funded, and we're established by the society. And our mission is really to discover what makes AEC organizations successful in marketing and business development. Our purpose is to deliver research, marketing intelligence, and expert analysis that inspires success and improves bottom-line results for Foundation stakeholders. So that's kind of our mission and purpose statement. We have a lot of things in the works right now, and for those of you who have been SMPS members for a while, you've seen some of our different deliverables that we've had. So we've kind of really trying to take things to the next level with the things that we're working on. So some of the highlights just really quickly for you to look out for is the business development research, and this was follow-up on the 2013 book that the SMPS Foundation published, which is AEC Business Development, The Decade Ahead. So it really explores the roles of business development staff, technical staff, and just kind of a whole host of business development related topics. The next bullet you see, Informed Strategies series, that's the brand for kind of the white papers revisited. If you remember the white papers that came out for several years, we've really kind of pushed the reset button on those. So we have some exciting reports that are in the works that are going to be coming out over the next several months. For chapters, what does this all mean to you? Well, as members, it means that you're going to benefit from all this research. But from a chapter level, it also is going to provide some opportunities for programs for your monthly sessions that you have. So keep an eye out for more communication about those opportunities, as well as just opportunities to educate your chapters on what the foundation is and what we're doing, and that it is an additional benefit that you receive as an SMPS member, is the foundation researching on your behalf. So if any of you have suggestions for topics that we can research, please let me know, get in touch with me, and I just really appreciate what you're doing for your chapter and for the society. Thank you.
Thank you, Holly. Now we're going to turn it back over to Paula to give you a little glimpse in the year in review of 2014-15.
Thanks, Mary. A lot of good things happened last year, and I'm not going to read all the bullets to you, but I do want to point out some highlights of that. We had a 5% growth consecutively in the past 2 years, and if this trend continues, SMPS will exceed 8,500 members by the year 2020. And by the way that we're adding new value, new services, new benefits, new resources, we're hoping to see our annual growth exceed 5% each year, which is going to bring us pretty darn close to 10,000 members within the next 5 years, and that's very exciting. We have an 84% retention rate, which is above the benchmark number for many societies. Another good statistic that you'll see in there is that we have had an 18% decrease in first-year member drops. So that says that chapters are doing a good job of engaging their first-year members, getting them on a committee, and getting them involved and keeping them in the industry. A few other quick bullets. Obviously, we hired a new CEO. That was a big accomplishment and a very extensive process. We also named our first SMPS honorary fellow, Jan Tuckman, with Engineering News Record. So as I said, I won't read all the bullets to you. I hope you're taking a look at those right now. So those are the primary accomplishments. I don't know if Barbara Shuck, your past president, is on the line, and I'm wondering if she is, if there's anything she wants to add.
Paula, I don't show that she's joined us yet. I think she was going to be a bit late, so you can go on.
Okay, great. So we're going to move to our strategic plan now. Probably the culmination of the work that we did in 2014, 2015 is the development and the adoption of the SMPS strategic plan. It's a living, breathing document that guides us into the future. And it's a plan that also helps chapters align their strategic plans with what the society's strategic plan is. Very exciting this year at PLS. Michael and one of the PLS chairs will be providing a strategic planning session for incoming chapter presidents so that you are trained more on chapter strategic planning, and it will give you an idea of how to align your strategic plan with the Society's strategic plan. When we looked at the plan at the beginning of 2015, when I became president, we did not change the goals and objectives. We feel they're still relevant, they're still important to our members, so our goals of awareness, education, membership, and infrastructure are still relevant and valid. So with that, I want to turn it over to Mary and staff. And prior to getting them started, I want to thank them for all their hard work on behalf of SMPS and our members. Mary?
Thank you, Paula. At this time, I want to introduce this. Obviously, what you see here is just a fraction of our staff, but I certainly want to make sure they're presenting today, and we make you aware of who that is. Tina Myers, our Deputy Executive Director, myself, Mary Cruz, Natalie Gozzard, Chapter Services Manager, Jaime Flores, our VP of Marketing and Communications, and Marcy Thompson, our Senior Director of Education. They'll be sharing current initiatives that we're working on. We are a resource for you, so please reach out to any staff member at any time. We're here for you, and please, anytime, reach out to us. Thank you. So we're going to kick it off with membership. So we are super excited about our 2016 membership campaign for retention and recruitment, SMPS Derby. So you got to get out your Derby hats, mix up that batch of mint julep, and as we gear up for our contest, our race coming up on March 1st. In the interim, I want to just highlight a few call-outs for this program, just making sure that we've been sharing information with all chapter membership chairs and presidents and president-elects. So you're aware that coming up in just a few weeks, January 31st, your summary is due, and it's just a brief summary, up to 3 pages, that you would submit to us with an application by January 31st to just summarize what are the strategies that you're working on this coming year for recruitment and retention. Just list out those specific fun programs that you have, or ambassador programs to recruit and to welcome new members. How are you onboarding your new members through new member orientations? Also your retention. Are you recognizing current members, asking them to share their story, whether it's through print, your website, or at a program? We're just looking for those special moments, those special ideas that you have moving forward for your strategy for recruitment and retention. So please make sure you get us your summary by January 31st. That will enter you into the race. So if we don't receive that summary, your chapter will not be able to participate in the race, which is March 1st through May 31st. So once the race kicks off in the month of February, we'll be sending some notifications, some fun videos to get you jazzed up about it. And once we kick it off March 1st, we'll be sending statistics to you so you know what size chapter you fall under at that time, what your percentage of growth is that time. So as we go through the race, you will be racing against small chapters against small, medium, large against extra large. So take a look at the criteria, and please reach out to Natalie Gozzard or myself if you have any questions regarding the contest. Also, we have a member referral campaign. Please place a link on your chapter website if you don't have one there. This is fun for any member. If you refer a member within a year, you receive 3 months additional membership. Also, if you refer another member within the same year, in addition to the 3 months membership, you'll also receive a gift card. So keep this in mind. There's the link on the SMPS website under membership. We send this out to membership chairs at the start of the year as well, but just want to make sure that you are sharing this with your membership and placing it on your website. Okay, so we talked briefly about the SMPS Derby, but what I wanted to make you aware of as well is once we receive all of the summaries from the chapters, we're going to find a way to compile those in a fun way and send them back out to all the chapters so that you have ideas moving forward through the campaign, but also just throughout the rest of the year. So you'll be able to see what all the chapters are doing and how they're engaging new members and recruiting members. Wanted to make you aware that we're working on implementing a new association management system, an AMS database. So we're going through that discovery stage. We had a technology audit, and we did that earlier over the summertime. Now we're in the discovery and implementation stage of converting our AMS. What does that mean to you, to the chapters, to the volunteers? That simply means that we will have a more proficient system here at headquarters, and from the user standpoint, these signing on, user ID sign-ons, navigating through our website, as well as bridging to my SMPS community and others will be much more seamless and fluid. So we're very excited about the work being done with our new AMS. And also to add to that, when we move to our new system, we will make sure that the Chapter Reports Extranet is still available to you. We will be upgrading that. If you're not aware, we have the Extranet now. Membership chairs, as well as several other volunteers from your chapter can log on if we give you access. So if you don't have access as a membership chair, please reach out to us. We'll make sure you have that. But it's live data, so it's live data directly to our database. You can pull member information at any time. And we are also working on enhancing our chapter reports that come out monthly via email to all chapters. So keep an eye out for that. Moving on, dashboard indicators. What that is we are working to compile a lot of information right now in research on our chapters. We're looking at your finance reports. We're looking at the number of volunteers that you have, average number of volunteers per chapter, number of CPSMs, programs, average growth, and retention rates. So we're going to take all of that information and put those into dashboard indicators by size of chapter. So you can take a look at all of the small chapters. What does their average bank account look like? What is the average number of sponsorship dollars they bring in? How many programs are they conducting in a year? And what are the number of volunteers for a small chapter? So you have something to measure your success against, and as do we. So we're very excited about that. We'll be working on these indicators this year. And then also prospect outreach. Just remember to engage with us. We know that there's a lot of non-members that come to your programs, or maybe you have an exchange list with a current local alliance partner that your chapter works with. We are continually building our prospect database and making sure that those are reported back to you through the Extranet program. So again, timely, until we have a centralized system where we're collecting all of the chapters' information through one system, we will need you to send us those Excel spreadsheets and information on your non-members. Once we have that, we will certainly vet those, get them into our database. We'll be working off of one report, and we'll be reaching out. We're working with our marketing team on developing a membership marketing campaign. So we're being very targeted in the way that we reach out to our prospects, making sure that they're receiving specific teases based on their title and primary discipline. So please reach out to Franco Holmes. He is our membership coordinator here at SMPS headquarters. He is managing our prospect efforts. So if you have any questions, reach out to Franco. And lastly, recruitment mailer or telemarketing campaign. Just want to remind you that we offer once per year per chapter to pay for design, pay for the mailing of a postcard, and we'll mail that out to all of your prospects. But this is for recruitment purposes. And so please reach out to me, Mary Cruz. I'm happy to work with you on that as we get closer through the campaign months. I'm sure this is the opportunity for you to take us up on a direct mail piece. We can also offer, in lieu of a direct mail piece, a telemarketing campaign. So again, reach out to us, and there's more information in your membership, the section of the chapter manual on this as well. And now I'm going to turn it over to Marcy Thompson to discuss a few initiatives with education.
Thank you, Mary, and I am grateful for the opportunity to share some highlights of the education outlook for this year. I will start with the Markendium. So the Markendium, SMPS Body of Knowledge, of course you all know it's a vetted and concise compendium that further defines the 6 domains of practice. The body of knowledge is going to serve as a comprehensive resource for business development and marketing professionals within the AEC industry. I am pleased to share that we are on target for an unveiling of this body of knowledge late spring. So we are very excited. We've worked with the subject matter experts, we have reviewers, peer reviewers, and we are excited to share everything that has come together. So with the release of the body of knowledge, there will be 6 individual books by domain. Of course, you purchase the entire body of knowledge together or as individual books. We will also release short online courses associated with each of the domains. We will have webinars, we will have town halls with the subject matter experts for you to connect, you as leaders and members as a whole, to connect with the subject matter experts to gain further insight into either the development of the body of knowledge or, the content that is that makes up the body of knowledge. So we're really pleased that this is on target for release. A lot of work has gone into it, and I know that there are questions about how the body of knowledge will change, or how does the body of knowledge affect certification. And just to let you know, immediately, it won't have an immediate impact on certification. Eventually the test will change, but there will not be any changes in 2016 because, of course, we have to, after the release, we need to allow time for adoption of the book, and just stay tuned for more details about how we plan to roll out any changes to the CPSM test. And as it relates to study materials, once the body of knowledge is released, we will use it as a source to build and update study materials. So, of course, we will be creating new study materials eventually, and we will refresh and update what we currently have. So I would just say stay tuned. If you have any questions, about how that may impact your study groups, please feel free to give us a call, give me a call directly or an email. Just sharing a few other highlights, of course, for online learning. We will continue to have our webinars, 90-minute interactive sessions presented by industry experts. We will continue with our lunchtime learning labs that are very popular, and it is member benefit for, it's free to all members. So we are excited to offer sessions for our members that build technical skills specifically. So we will continue those. Something new that we're trying this year is a virtual workshop series. So you've seen information on the P2W Prepare to Win series. Our first one is currently in session, and it's on proposals, and it's going very well. We've received some very positive feedback. The next session will take place in June, and it will be marketing essentials for the AEC industry. So please stay tuned for details on that. And then, of course, we have our face-to-face learning, our BD workshop series. The dates and the locations have been released. Registration is open. Folks are registering. So if you have chapter members that are interested in the BD workshops, please, share the information. We hope that you're linking to our website, to the locations and all the details related to business development, the series. Please link back to your website. And again, if you have questions, we are offering group discounts, so please just check our website, and if what you need isn't there, let us know. Next, we're going to also, new this year, we're going to release, we're going to present Roadmap to Certification. So we're going to conduct a CPSM immersion course. It'll be a 2-day course that will include a 90-day study plan. So students who come to the course will also receive a 90-day study plan. We're excited. We've never done anything like this before. Of course, it won't take the place of any of your study groups, but hopefully it will complement what you're doing. But it is basically an immersion course. It's an intensive 2-day course. It's going to take place in Atlanta in May. So lots of details to follow this call. We will be opening registration within the next week. So please stay tuned for that. And then we are also hosting business development for technical professionals. So really diving into the seller-doer market and offering a workshop. And our first workshop will precede the SERC Regional Conference in Charleston in March, so we're really excited about that. So more details to follow on that. And then lastly, for the education update, CPSM Week this year is pushed back to the end of October, beginning of November. We did have a lot of interest in CPSM Week for our first time, and we did get lots of feedback on the date, and you know, a lot of our chapter leaders wanted to participate, but because of the timing, so we really wanted to let you know that we heard you, and we have changed the date. So CPSM Week this year will be October 31st through November 4th, and in the following years, we hope for it to fall in the first week of November. So that's our plan. We'll try that out this year. Again, if you have feedback, we welcome that. We want to hear from you, and because we're here for you. So please share insights on that. And finally, I will share, and of course, Paula, please jump in and add here, but we want to share some new things that will be happening at Build Business, and we hope that all of you will join us August 10th through the 12th in Philadelphia. But new this year, we're going to have an opening keynote on Wednesday afternoon. So typically we kick things off on Thursday, but this year we're going to have an opening keynote on Wednesday at 5 p.m. followed by the welcome reception. So our Marcom team is working on a big splash to get the information out there for folks who are making their travel plans, and you know, so that you can get there in time to, you know, participate in the welcome, of course, the welcome reception, but the opening keynote. So we're super excited about that. Backed by popular demand, we will have the MAX sessions. The MAX call for presentations just closed on Friday, so we have lots of good content to consider for MAX sessions. So we're excited about that. And then I wanted to share, please don't forget the chapter group discount. You've received information for that, and it can also be found in your chapter leader library. And Tina, call for volunteers?
Sure, I'm happy to talk about that. So another new initiative this year, and something a little bit different that you haven't seen, is a 2017, or simply a call for volunteers for Build Business conference chairs and conference program chairs. As I think all of you are well aware, Build Business is our primary and key educational conference every single year, and we get great reviews on it. We are proud of that program. Our board is proud of that program. But one of the things that we have been talking about, and this is very much in line with our strategic plan, is ensuring that this is and continues to be an outstanding, excellent program, that everyone comes away from it with amazing ideas and simply an amazing experience. So one of the conversations that we've been having is, well, how do we do that? And looking at infrastructure as a part of our strategic plan overall, one of the things is looking at volunteers and how we get in new leaders and looking at that program. So with the leadership of our board, Paula Ryan and Craig Galati specifically, they put together a task force of individuals who have attended the conference in past years and leaders who can really take a look at Build Business in a very different way. And one of the recommendations from that task force was to put out a call for volunteers this year outside of the scope of how it has traditionally been handled. So I hope that all of you have seen that call and the email that went out. It went out a couple of times, and it will also be out in the Marketer Quick Look. But we just hope that you have seen that and see that there is truly an opportunity for others who typically haven't been engaged with Build Business and to serve a key critical leadership role. So we're looking for individuals outside of the scope of presidents and outside of the scope of people who have served in that position before. So we're excited about the opportunity and welcome you to take another look at that, and maybe you may be interested in serving on the committee going forward. So if you have any questions on the call for volunteers and need a link for that, I'm happy to help you through that. All you need to do is send me an email or give me a call.
Hi, it's Paula. I'm going to add just a couple of things real quick. We're really excited about adding the third keynote. It's a way that we can bring you more value, more programming, and more education without raising the cost of Build Business. So we're thrilled to be able to give you this third keynote session. While we don't have a title yet, it will be about looking at both sides of the political fence. Being that it's an election year. So that is our third keynote. You can find information about the other two keynotes on the Build Business website. Another piece of Build Business this year is that we are going to offer a separate business development program for technical professionals on Wednesday, and in conjunction with that, then offer them a discount to Build Business. So again, we're really trying to help you train and educate your technical professionals on business development. And also at Build Business, if you're really lucky, you'll see a mummer or two. And if you don't know what a mummer is, I'm going to ask you to Google it. So there you go.
Thanks, Paula. And one last thing is if you are looking for the Build Business logo to add it to your chapter's website, or if you need a half-page ad or a banner ad, you can find all of that marketing. Michelle Santiago placed that in the All Chapter Leaders community of My SMPS under marketing. So then you can place those ads and logos on your chapter's website so it links directly to the Build Business site. Okay. Thank you, Marcy and Tina and Paula. And now we're going to move on to marketing communications, and Jaime Flores is going to talk with you about a few initiatives happening.
Thanks, Mary. This is just a quick update on some of the initiatives that we're working here in Marcom that have an impact on you. First, we have a Marketer Quick Look. As you know, in the fall of last year, we got rid of Connections and moved over to a new platform and launched Marketer Quick Look, which is just an easier way for our members to access some of the stories and events and announcements that are happening in the society. All the material that's on Marketer Quick Look can be repurposed by you, by the chapters, and used in your website, in your newsletters. All that we ask is that you make sure you reference the original location, meaning Marketer Quick Look, or if it's from the Marketer journal itself. MAX guidelines are being updated, are being created and will be launched in late spring. As you know, we launched our MAX programming at Build Business. So there was a need for us to develop guidelines for those chapters and regionals that want to do MAX programming or a smaller version of what they saw Build Business at the chapter and regional level. Those guidelines will be available in late spring. Everything from how to do your program to how to use the proper usage of the brand, camera setup, audio setup, that will all be in the guidelines. If you look at this, at the image in front of you, you see a picture of a display at a conference. We now have a new SMPS tabletop display that includes a tabletop display, table drape, and a magazine rack that matches the new collateral that we launched last year. And the table displays are on an availability basis. You can request them through the membership department. If you have any questions, contact Mary or Natalie at smps.org. and just let us know what type of event it is. If it's a regional, if it's a large-scale chapter event that you're partnering with another organization and you think that SMPS should have a stronger presence, definitely reach out to us and we'll make the tabletop display available to you if it's not already reserved by another group. Dynamic compensation and metrics survey, as you know, has been open. This is our annual salary survey. It's an ongoing effort. We ask that if you want to help out with the survey, definitely put it on your website, put it in your communications. The more information we can collect, the better, particularly since a lot of this information is based on industry trends in terms of salary, firm size. All the information is available to members for free if they fill out, if you fill out 40% of the survey or more, you get the access to all the survey metrics for free. If you have any questions or any issues on the Dynamics Compensation and Metrics Survey, you can contact Michelle at smps.org. And last, upcoming soon, next couple months, we have a brand perception and member needs survey. There was a need by the society to, update some of our membership information in terms of how SMPS is viewed in the industry, how our members view us, how other folks view us. So we're going to be launching that survey in the next few months, and hopefully out of that we'll have data that we can use in terms of our marketing and other membership efforts, and possibly also creating a new brand platform for the SMPS brand. But if you have any questions for me, you can reach me at jaime@smps.org. And like I said, there's a lot of great material that's available to you through our various publications and marketing collateral. Feel free if you want to repurpose any of that, or if you have any questions of how to repurpose any of that, just contact us at Marcom, and we'll do our best to help you.
Thank you, Jaime.
No problem.
Okay, we're moving on to administration, and Tina Myers is going to share a few points on bylaws and alliance partners.
Yes, just a very few points, because we really don't have too much time to talk about a lot of the details. But what's important for us to let you know right now are a few other initiatives that we're working on. Very busy at the office on working on policies and procedures, updating them internally and externally. Along with that, though, are our bylaws. It's time for us to take a look at the society's bylaws and update them accordingly. And at the same time, we need to look at the model bylaws that we ask all of our chapters to adopt in how it works best for you, giving you a few options. The point that I primarily want to make here is I know that there are a lot of chapters out there, as certainly there have been about 7 in the last 7 or so months, who have asked us to take a look at some of their bylaws, the changes that they want to make, and recommendations. And what we've been saying at that point is to pretty much hold off on any changes unless there is something very critical or it's a red flag, and I'm happy to talk to you about that. We're asking that all of you kind of put a hold on updating your bylaws and making recommendations until we have had a chance to update and share all of those different changes with you. So Chris Rickman, our treasurer, and I and Mike Geary will be looking at this and putting together a package for our chapters and a presentation, so you have a sense of what has changed, what we're recommending, and why we're recommending that. And of course, every chapter is different. We have different sizes. We know that you don't always have the opportunity to put in so many positions as for your officers or for your directors. So all of those things will be accommodated and captured in the new model bylaws, and hopefully it will be much more simple. So coming out of this today, we just want you to know that there's no need to change anything until we get to you. I will reiterate one more time, though, if there is something that is truly urgent for whatever reason, I just might not be able to identify that right now, give me a call and I'm happy to talk to you about that. But this is some of the work that we're focusing on this year, and also this is very much a part of the strategic plan and infrastructure that we've worked on over the last couple of years. The other point on here that we want to make is talking about alliance partners a little bit more. And we have talked about alliance partners in the past, who they are, what we're doing. We just want to make sure that all of you are aware that there are several groups out there that we know that you work with, that the SMPS headquarters has a formal agreement with and alignment with, and we are going to be building up on those alliance partners even more. With Mike here now, he has some great contacts, and so we're hoping to be able to further those relationships and truly make them meaningful, not only for SMPS HQ, but for them as well. So you'll see here, ASHE, AIA, AGC. These are just some of the few that we're working with right now. In particular, ASHE, we have been reached out to by Dawn Marie, I think I'm saying her name right, Fortuna, and she is the SMPS liaison with ASHE. So what they're doing, and we're so thrilled that they're doing this, is they're going to be working from the chapter and local level with all of our groups and with SMPS to truly find out, well, how can we really make sure that we are getting and identifying the benefits of working with one another, collaborating with one another. What does that really mean to make this a meaningful partnership for all? So we'll be sharing more information on that with all of our chapters to make sure that you know exactly what is out there. But just to be made aware that she may be reaching out to our chapters in particular, and maybe some of you directly on this call right now. If you want more information on that, happy to share that with you and to give you Dawn's information as well. Maybe you are specifically working with ASHE and would like to dig in a little bit more and be proactive. So we're happy to make that happen. With AIA, we are continuing to develop an amazing relationship with AIA, and some of those partnerships, or one particular effort that we have been working with, is those marketing checkups with at their annual conference. We have Dan Riley, who is working and reaching out to AIA. They have their program in Philly, I believe, this year in May, and seeing what we can do with the marketing checkup and continue that relationship. They have been incredibly successful, and we want to continue that, not only that program, but just other things that we can do with AIA overall. And the other reason, or the other group that is on here is AGC, and one of the reasons why they're specifically on this list is AGC is a group that has been working with us even through the foundation and getting their members informed in a part of a survey that we're working with the BD research, and they have been incredibly supportive, and they have great sources and trends that we can tap into, and they're so willing to help us out, and they're champions of SMPS overall. I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of that. With these groups and more, we will make sure that that list is available to all of you, but working at a local level is very important. Getting those names is very much a headquarters effort as well. So volunteer resources. We're going to kickstart this off into a really fun graphic. Here you go. Lots of words in this word cloud for you. And here's what we want to do, and what we want to explain through all of these fun words and resources available to you. We know that you work very hard, and we also recognize that SMPS is a grassroots organization. So many of the benefits and the relationships and the experiences are through what all of you provide at your chapter level. What we want to make sure, and is in front of you, front and center, is that we want to make sure that you're given the tools and the resources to make that happen, and to truly help you understand the relationship and the commitment that we have with you. So we know that you get your shared dues from us, and we recognize that so much of the revenue that you pull in is through your educational programs that you put out there, the special events that you put out there too. But we are committed through our budgeting process, the amount of money that we put in our budget, and certainly in terms of staffing, all these other things. So we work with you on your bylaws. We're providing toolkits. We're working with you on governance and helping you with your taxes. Some of you are much larger, and Antonio Payne, our controller, is incredibly supportive in walking you through that if you need that. We have manuals for all of these different efforts that you need. And, you know, we also provide, and maybe you don't know aware of this because you haven't had the need for this type of support, but if you're kind of in a bind or you have a question or a legal issue that you're not quite sure what to do, all you need to do is give SMPS HQ a call. You can call me, you can call Mike, you can call Mary or Natalie. Let us know what is going on, and we will make sure that you're provided the resources that you need to make sound and smart decisions. So there's so much more going on in this graphic and not a whole lot of time to really explain everything, but I just want to make sure that those are available to you. Questions, just give us a call. So at this point, I'm going to hand this over to Natalie Gozzard, who is going to talk about some other resources that we have available to you. Natalie?
Thanks, Tina. Love that last slide. Resources, yeah, we have them. So please, chapter volunteers, rest assured. We've compiled documents, samples, and examples of what's been done well to make your volunteer role much easier. The document you're looking at now on your screen on the bottom right slide, this is the list of resources and tools for SMPS chapters as provided by SMPS headquarters. This document details all of the many resources and tools that we have available to you as chapter volunteers. This document will be emailed to everyone at the end of today's program, and it can be found within the library of the All Chapter Leaders community of MySMPS. All chapter volunteers are a member of this community, so I encourage you today, if you haven't done so already, to please visit the All Chapter Leaders community of MySMPS and explore all the resources that are available to you. This community truly is chock full of all the resources that you might need to assist you in your role as a chapter volunteer. The community really can be a tremendous resource in that you can use MySMPS to connect with other members and other volunteers. You can share files, you can facilitate and ask questions, and pull all these resources you need from the community library. Resources such as membership reports, finance documents, the membership marketing ads and collateral, chapter logos, samples and models, and strategic planning resources. The chapter manual and toolkits are saved within this library. So the chapter manual is comprised of 5 sections consisting of awards and sponsorship, communications, education and certification, finance and administration, governance and strategic planning, and membership. Now, these manuals will serve as extremely handy reference guides as you set your course for the year. Just this year, we've added a treasurer's toolkit as another resource. So these manuals and toolkits are saved within the All Chapter Leaders community. And these documents, they're essentially how-to guides with examples. They exist to assist you and guide you in your role as a chapter leader. Another great resource for you, our exciting chapter awards program, Striving for Excellence, and Chapter President of the Year. These recognize chapters and chapter presidents for excellence in the management and service to members. The SFE, Striving for Excellence Award, the 2016, and as well as the Chapter President of the Year, the 2016 criteria and submittal process is now available on the website. Some more information, it's under the Recognition tab on the main page of the website. The Striving for Excellence Award recognizes chapters for excellence in programming, chapter leadership, membership growth and retention, communications, and financial health, 5 criteria. So many chapters that submit use these 5 criteria for strategic planning purposes. The criteria essentially steers their plans for the year to ensure that they are addressing each category effectively, pinpointing areas of strengths and weaknesses, and then showcasing accomplishments to their membership. So simply stated, it's a really great tool for chapters to use to determine areas of focus for their year. These past submittals of award winners are great resources for you all as volunteers to explore what chapters are doing well or what they have done well and how they did it. All past submittals are saved within the All Chapter Leaders community of MySMPS in the awards folder. Another great resource are chapter education reports. These are available within the same library under the education folder. The chapter education reports are a compilation of annual chapter programming and events of a given program year. And they can serve as a great resource for you when you're planning because these reports detail speakers, attendance numbers, registration fees, and program summaries by which domain of practice they addressed. So it's great information to review for planning your program year. Now, I've just learned that the 2014-15 reports will be available by early this February, and they will be saved within the library of the All Chapter Leaders community as well. So we have many, many resources that exist for you. Please do not think for one moment that you have to go it alone or reinvent the wheel or such. I encourage you to contact me or any member of the headquarters staff here should you have any questions. We're here for you and can direct you to the resources you need. And I look forward to hearing from you all, any questions you might have. So now we're going to enter the question and answer portion of today's program, and we encourage your questions. Please press the raised hand icon within your panel and we can unmute you, or feel free to type your question in the question box. And here's just a quick reminder to please ensure that the audio and your microphone is enabled if you wish to be unmuted. So Mary, I'll turn it over to you for question and answers.
Thank you, Natalie. As Natalie stated, this is the opportunity to type a question to us or raise your hand. I will happily unmute you, give you an opportunity to ask questions of any of this presentation today that you heard. So we really appreciate your participation today, for taking the time to hear about the new initiatives, work that's happening at the society level, and about all the chapter resources. I'm not seeing at this time any hand raised or questions, so we must have answered them all for you. But please know, like Natalie has stated, and Paula and many others, is that the board of directors, the staff, we're here for you. We want to help you through this journey, through your year and on. So reach out to us if you have any questions, you need advice, support, whatever that may be. We're here for you. So thank you so much for taking the time to attend, for your dedication to serve. And I'm going to wrap it up with Paula. I do see one question. One moment. Oh, the presentation will be available. We had a question about this presentation. We are recording this, so we'll make it available to you before the end of the week. We'll be sending out a follow-up email to all volunteers with related documents and a link to this recording. And of course, we'll place it in the All Chapter Leaders community of my SMPS. So thank you for asking that question. Let me do one more quick run through. I don't see any other hand raised. So Paula, I'm going to turn it back over to you to wrap it up.
Great. So you'll see one of my favorite Simon Sinek quotes on the screen there, and I really like it because it reminds me of what our chapter boards and our committees do to make SMPS better. We can absolutely do anything, and we are, and we appreciate all your help. So with that, thank you, and stay warm.
Thank you. That concludes today's webinar. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.